Hello and welcome to our space today. I'm Lyra, and I am so happy you're joining me, listening to real English changes the way you speak. We hear people talking in cafes and on trains. The language they use feels effortless and smooth. They rely on simple phrases that carry deep meaning. We are going to explore 50 of these daily phrases together. You walk into a crowded room and spot a close friend. You simply walk over and ask, "How is it going?" They smile warmly and begin to tell you about their morning. At the office, your colleague sits down heavily at their desk. You look over with concern and ask, "How is it going?" It replaces stiff, formal greetings with a warm human connection. Saying hello feels a bit rigid or distant sometimes. Saying "How is it going?" invites a real and relaxed conversation. It sets a comfortable tone for whatever follows. Someone holds the heavy glass door open for you as you leave a store. You smile and say, "I appreciate it." A busy coworker decides to stay late just to help you finish a stressful report. Telling them "I appreciate it" shows genuine, deep gratitude. People love hearing "I appreciate it" because it feels personal and sincere. Saying thank you is always polite and completely appropriate. Adding "I appreciate it" gives your thanks an extra layer of warmth and emotional weight. It acknowledges the specific effort they made for you. Your friend explains exactly why they decided to cancel their weekend trip. You listen to their reasons and say, "That makes sense." A patient teacher shows you an entirely new way to solve a difficult problem. Suddenly, the confusing part clicks into place and makes sense. We say it when understanding finally arrives after a moment of confusion. It shows the other person you are actively following their logic. People often say "makes sense" to validate someone else without needing to agree completely. It builds a beautiful bridge of understanding. Your partner suggests eating pizza for dinner tonight. You immediately reply with "sounds good." A colleague proposes meeting at 10 in the morning to discuss a new idea. You agree by saying "sounds good." It is the absolute easiest way to accept a plan. We use "sounds good" for simple daily agreements. Using formal words for dinner plans feels awkward and unnatural. "Sounds good" keeps the mood light and easy. You spill a little water on the kitchen table by accident. Your friend wipes it up quickly and says "no worries." Someone apologizes for replying late to your recent message. You quickly type back "no worries." It tells people that everything is perfectly fine. We say "no worries" to remove guilt or lingering stress. Forgetting a small detail is a very normal human mistake. Hearing "no worries" brings immediate emotional relief. You're waiting for a friend who is getting dressed slowly. You tell them to take your time. A customer is searching their bag for their missing wallet. The cashier smiles warmly and says, "Take your time." It gives people permission to avoid rushing awkwardly. Saying "take your time" removes unnecessary social pressure. Rushing makes everyone feel stressed and deeply uncomfortable. "Take your time" creates a calm and deeply patient atmosphere. Two old friends meet for coffee after a long, busy year. They have so much to catch up on today. You return from a relaxing vacation to your busy office desk. Now you must catch up on hundreds of unread emails. We catch up when we are behind on news or office work. Sitting down to catch up with someone feels truly wonderful. We share lovely stories and close the distance between us. You invite a neighbor to watch a movie on Friday night. You tell them to let you know if they can come. Your manager gives you a completely new and complicated project. They tell you to let them know if you need any help. We say "let me know" to leave the door softly open. It places the next step safely in their hands. "Let me know" sounds supportive and entirely without pressure. The city train schedule looks extremely confusing at first glance. You take a quiet moment to figure out the right platform. Your mobile device stops working suddenly during an important call. You try to figure out what exactly went wrong. We figure out problems by thinking through them very carefully. Sometimes we figure out people when we finally understand their motives. It means solving a puzzle through dedicated effort and patience. You recommend a great local restaurant to a hungry visitor. You tell them to keep in mind that it gets extremely crowded. A teacher assigns a massive final essay to the classroom. They ask the students to keep in mind the strict deadline. It serves as a gentle warning or helpful reminder. We say keep in mind to highlight very important details. Forgetting these key details might cause real trouble later. You want to connect with an old colleague to ask for career advice. You decide to reach out to them on a professional network. A customer service team wants to solve your complicated billing problem. They promise to reach out with a clear solution very soon. To reach out means taking the initiative to make that initial contact. It sounds much warmer and more human than simply saying, "Contact me." We reach out across the physical distance to build a helpful bridge. You're talking about the cloudy weather with your friendly neighbor. You suddenly say, "By the way, your garden looks absolutely beautiful." A guest is leaving your home after a wonderful dinner. You say, "By the way, you forgot your warm jacket." We use "by the way" to drop in entirely new information. It shifts the topic smoothly without feeling harsh or abrupt. "By the way" feels casual and naturally spontaneous. Someone asks if you liked the long movie you both watched. You say, "To be honest, it was quite slow and boring." A coworker asks for honest feedback on their recent presentation. You say, "To be honest, you spoke a bit too fast." We say "to be honest" before sharing a slightly difficult truth. It prepares the listener for your genuine and unfiltered thoughts. To be honest shows real vulnerability and builds deep trust. Your roommate refuses to wash dishes because they cooked a massive dinner. You nod slowly and say, "Fair enough." A vendor explains exactly why their local prices have gone up recently. You accept their logical reason and reply, "Fair enough." It means you understand and fully accept their valid point. We use "fair enough" to end minor disagreements very peacefully. It shows you respect the clear logic of their argument. Someone asks about your weekend trip to the distant mountains. You smile warmly and say it was pretty good. You taste a completely new recipe you tried cooking tonight. You surprise yourself and admit it tastes pretty good. It means something is significantly better than average. We say "pretty good" when we are pleasantly satisfied with a result. It sounds modest but carries a highly positive feeling. Planning a long vacation brings a special kind of daily joy. We look forward to relaxing on the warm sandy beach. Your boss schedules a private meeting to discuss your upcoming promotion. You look forward to hearing the wonderful good news. It describes the happy anticipation of a future exciting event. Saying you look forward to something shows real enthusiasm. People love knowing you look forward to seeing them again. Learning a brand new language always feels challenging at first. You just have to give it a try with an open mind. A close friend offers you a strange-looking dessert. You decide to give it a try anyway. It means attempting something without worrying endlessly about the final result. We give it a try to build quiet internal courage. Success matters much less than the willingness to experience something totally new. The clock finally shows 5 in the evening at the office. Everyone begins to wrap up their assigned daily tasks. A passionate speaker reaches the final point of their long presentation. They wrap up their speech with a very strong conclusion. It means bringing a structured activity to a natural end. We wrap up a meeting so tired people can finally leave. Saying "wrap up" feels much smoother than loudly saying "finish." Buying fresh milk was your only task at the local grocery store. Somehow it managed to slip your mind entirely. A colleague asks about the important email you promised to send. You apologize deeply because it did slip your mind. It is a very gentle way to admit a harmless memory failure. Saying "it slipped my mind" avoids sounding reckless or careless. Human brains simply drop things occasionally when we are busy. Buying a new car requires a massive and serious financial commitment. The wise choice is to sleep on it before deciding completely. Your partner suggests moving to a completely different state or city. You both agree to sleep on it for a few quiet days. We sleep on it to allow our tired minds to process information. Important choices demand absolute clarity and proper rest. Waking up often brings the right obvious answer. Starting a new career involves learning many complex computer systems. When someone asks about it, you smile and say, "So far, so good." You are painting your large living room a bright yellow color. Halfway through the messy work, it looks so far, so good. It means things are progressing very well up to this exact moment. We say "so far, so good" to express cautious but real optimism. The journey continues with highly positive energy. A creative team needs to agree on a strategy before starting the real work. They talk for hours until absolutely everyone is on the same page. You and your partner sit down to discuss your tight budget. Being on the same page prevents silly arguments later in the week. It means sharing a clear, common understanding of a complex situation. I often remind our listeners here at SpeakFlow English about the deep power of connection. Language exists to keep us on the same page with the people we care about. Taking a totally wrong turn on a road trip changes everything. You might end up discovering a beautiful hidden lake. A simple coffee date turns into a wonderfully long evening conversation. You end up talking until the busy restaurant finally closes. We end up in strange places we never planned to visit. It describes the final result of a completely unexpected journey. Life loves to show us exactly where we end up. Family dinners sometimes involve difficult or highly sensitive topics. Someone will eventually bring up local politics or personal money. Your busy boss forgets to mention your requested time off. You have to bring up the vacation during your next meeting. We bring up subjects to make them clearly visible to others. It takes real courage to bring up uncomfortable hidden issues. Doing so clears the heavy air for honest, open conversation. Choosing a large wedding venue involves many changing opinions. The stressed couple goes back and forth for several long weeks. Two sharp lawyers argue over the tiny details of a contract. Their back and forth negotiation lasts for several exhausting hours. We use back and forth for repeated changing exchanges. It perfectly describes the natural rhythm of a serious debate. A fast tennis match is a literal back and forth. Reading a large map carefully reveals many hidden geographical details. A friendly local resident will point out the best walking trails. Reviewing a complex document requires a sharp and very careful eye. The hired editor will point out any embarrassing spelling mistakes. We point out things to direct someone else to see them. It helps others see what they completely missed before. Sometimes we must point out a harsh but necessary truth. Old computers sometimes run very slowly during highly important tasks. You tell your waiting client to please bear with me. Explaining a very complicated story takes a good bit of time. You ask your seated friends to bear with me for a moment. It is a highly polite request for extended patience. Saying "bear with me" shows real respect for their valuable time. It keeps the listener engaged while they quietly wait. A curious customer asks a question you cannot possibly answer immediately. You promise to get back to them by tomorrow afternoon. Checking your full calendar is necessary before making weekend plans. You tell your friend you will get back to them later tonight. It means pausing the current conversation until you have better information. We say "I will get back to you" to maintain strong social trust. It proves you have not forgotten their specific request. Someone mentions the unusual name of a distant childhood acquaintance. The strange name does not ring a bell at all. A tired detective hears a familiar detail in a witness statement. That specific clue starts to ring a bell deep in their mind. We use it when something sounds vaguely but strongly familiar. It means an old memory is waking up in your busy mind. Saying "ring a bell" feels much more natural than saying "familiar." A perfectly clear sky has no dark clouds or warning signs. A sudden heavy storm appears entirely out of the blue. An old forgotten friend calls you after 5 years of total silence. Their unexpected message arrives completely out of the blue. It describes random events that happen without any prior warning. We experience out-of-the-blue moments with total surprise. Life is completely full of these sudden, unexpected turns. Young teenagers rarely schedule formal meetings with their school peers. They vastly prefer to simply hang out after classes end. Weekends are absolutely perfect for relaxing without any strict daily plans. You can hang out at home and read a good, thick book. We hang out to enjoy casual, entirely unstructured time together. It removes the heavy pressure of needing a specific planned activity. Just being quietly together is the entire beautiful point. Throwing a large party requires inviting many different local people. You always wonder secretly who will actually show up. A difficult life challenge requires deep courage and total dedication. True trusted leaders show up when things get very hard. We show up by being totally present and highly accountable. Showing up late creates a very bad first impression. Being there when needed builds incredibly unbreakable social bonds. Baking fresh bread for the absolute first time is a massive gamble. Sometimes the warm loaves turn out absolutely perfectly. You worry about a threatening dark rainstorm all morning long. The afternoon weather can turn out to be sunny after all. It describes the final permanent result of an uncertain, messy situation. Finding highly natural ways to express outcomes is essential for speaking. That is why SpeakFlow English focuses intensely on these exact moments. Seeing how things turn out teaches us all deep patience. A suddenly sick teacher cannot teach their early morning class. A helpful substitute arrives quickly to fill in for them. You miss an important staff meeting while traveling far for work. A kind colleague promises to fill in the missing complex details. We fill in empty blank spaces with much-needed clear information. It also means actively replacing someone who is currently absent. Helping to fill in shows really great office teamwork. Walking past the home of a friend sparks a spontaneous, happy idea. You decide to drop by and say a quick hello. The lovely neighborhood bakery sells the most amazing hot, fresh bread. You drop by every single morning to buy a warm, delicious loaf. It means visiting a physical place briefly and very casually. We drop by without making formal, long-term, complicated plans. It keeps daily social connections feeling highly light and very easy. Tired doctors run extensive tests to find the root cause of an illness. They try hard to rule out any highly serious medical conditions. A sharp detective investigates all the possible known suspects in a case. They rule out the innocent people with very strong alibis. It means firmly eliminating an option from your working list. We rule out bad choices to make complex decisions much easier. Narrowing things down naturally leads to the right final answer. Hearing a strange, loud noise in your car causes real concern. You ask a trusted mechanic to look into the scary problem. A loyal customer complains about a totally missing package delivery. The store manager promises to look into the messy situation immediately. It means actively investigating something with highly careful, intense attention. We look into hidden matters to discover the actual buried truth. Ignoring a growing problem never ever makes it magically go away. Living fully in a new foreign country exposes you to the daily language. You naturally pick up new common vocabulary every single day. The cold wind starts blowing harder as the dark storm approaches. The violent speed of the storm begins to pick up very quickly. We pick up complex skills through constant exposure and daily practice. Sometimes we kindly pick up a tired friend from the busy airport. The phrase shifts beautifully depending entirely on the exact setting. Cooking a massive dinner stops abruptly when the fresh ingredients suddenly disappear. You completely run out of simple salt and black pepper. Driving a very long distance requires checking the fuel gauge constantly. Nobody ever wants to run out of gas on a dark, lonely road. It describes the terrible moment a vital supply becomes completely, totally empty. We can easily even run out of patience during a highly stressful day. Knowing when to stop completely prevents total mental exhaustion. Young siblings often fight fiercely over toys during their early childhood. Eventually, they slowly learn to get along peacefully and quietly. Joining a completely new office means meeting many different loud personalities. You deeply hope to get along with all your brand new colleagues. It means having a highly friendly and wonderfully smooth daily relationship. People who get along make difficult daily life much easier. Sharing a genuine warm laugh helps strange people get along naturally. Filing detailed annual taxes is a tedious and deeply boring manual chore. Many stressed people put off doing them until the absolute final possible day. A terribly heavy rainstorm completely floods the local green football field. The disappointed organizers decide to put off the big championship match. It means intentionally delaying a necessary action to a much later time. We put off hard tasks that feel overwhelmingly large or deeply unpleasant. Doing them immediately brings a much better and lighter feeling. A highly frightened small dog barks loudly at a random passing shadow. The kind owner speaks very softly to help the dog calm down. Intense arguments between angry close friends escalate very dangerously quickly. Someone mature needs to step in gently and help them calm down. It means completely returning to a natural state of deep emotional peace. Taking slow, deep breaths naturally helps the human body calm down. A quiet, peaceful room works wonderful, absolute miracles for a racing mind. Graduating finally from a massive university marks the complete end of an era. Happy students look back on their many long years of incredibly hard work. Making a deeply painful mistake teaches a highly valuable permanent life lesson. You look back on that old failure with brand new earned wisdom. It means actively thinking about events from the distant fading past. We look back to truly understand exactly how far we have physically traveled. Remembering our complex history heavily shapes our future personal choices. Annual spring cleaning reveals massive piles of completely unused clothing in the closet. It feels incredibly wonderful to get rid of old things you never wear. An extremely old mattress causes terrible physical back pain every single morning. You finally decide to get rid of the deeply uncomfortable sagging bed. It means permanently removing something unwanted completely from your entire life. We get rid of physical clutter to create fresh physical and healthy mental space. Letting go of the heavy past brings tremendous absolute freedom. Wearing a highly bright red coat in a massive sea of dark gray suits is bold. That completely daring fashion choice makes you stand out immediately and clearly. A truly brilliant college student writes a beautiful essay full of highly unique ideas. Their completely original thoughts make their academic work stand out. It means being highly noticeable or deeply naturally exceptional. We admire brave people who intentionally stand out from the boring crowd. Being proudly different is a quiet and highly wonderful kind of superpower. Eating entirely too much refined sugar leaves you feeling heavily tired and sluggish. The smart doctor strongly advises you to cut down on sweet daily snacks. A struggling company works hard to survive during a highly difficult economic year. Worried management actively decides to cut down on unnecessary expensive travel costs. It means significantly reducing the total size or total amount of something we cut down to deeply improve personal health or save valuable resources. Small daily reductions lead to massive and highly positive long-term changes. A deeply tired driver needs a safe break on a very long road trip. Their rested friend generously offers to take over the heavy steering wheel. An extremely experienced office manager retires completely after 40 long years of dedicated service. A much younger bright leader is carefully chosen to take over the entire department. It means officially assuming total control or deep responsibility from someone else. We bravely step up to take over when desperate help is urgently required. Passing the heavy baton ensures the vital work continues incredibly smoothly. Learning to slowly play the acoustic guitar hurts your soft fingers immensely at first. The sharp initial pain makes many frustrated beginners want to completely give up. Solving a highly complex mental riddle challenges your tired brain for several hours. You finally give up and simply ask a smart friend for the clever answer. It means entirely stopping a difficult effort because it feels absolutely, completely impossible. Sometimes we bravely give up a terrible daily habit to live a much better life. Quitting too early completely robs us of the amazing, sweet victory. Small growing children naturally watch their calm parents handle difficult, stressful situations with quiet grace. They completely look up to the brave adults who lovingly protect them and guide them. A new junior employee quietly watches a senior master craftsman perform their highly technical art. It is nearly completely impossible not to look up to such profound skill and deep dedication. We highly look up to honest people who display immense daily integrity and kindness. Dedicated, smart mentors gladly guide those who look up to their deep, rich experience. Deep, profound respect naturally flows toward those who truly earn it through their daily actions. Planning a massive secret surprise party for a highly sharp, observant detective is incredibly risky. Managing successfully to keep the huge secret means you pull off an absolute beautiful miracle. An underdog local sports team faces the completely undefeated professional league champions. They play fiercely with huge hearts and pull off a completely stunning final victory. It means totally succeeding at something surprisingly difficult, or seemingly absolutely completely impossible. We quietly pull off great, amazing things through sheer unyielding personal determination. The glorious feeling of total success completely erases all the heavy prior mental doubt. These beautiful expressions sit peacefully at the very beating heart of the English language. You will hear them constantly in crowded, busy streets and quiet, comfortable living rooms. They are the vital daily tools real people use to navigate their complex modern lives. By listening closely to them in these many different situations, you naturally absorb their rhythm. You slowly begin to feel exactly when a simple phrase fits perfectly into a human moment. There is absolutely no real need to force them awkwardly into your very next conversation. They will surface beautifully and naturally as you grow much more comfortable and deeply confident. Spending this quiet, precious time together today has been absolutely, truly wonderful. Keep listening daily to the world around you. Keep quietly observing and fully enjoy the beautiful, lifelong process of learning.